That's. All right, sorry about that. There, like I said, too many buttons on my phone, looking at too many things. Anyway, back to discussion on the ARPA funds, RFP for the downtown master plan. Alan's last concern was pushing, well, we need the commission to push out the deadline. And you picked a date of,
I moved on. Yeah, I said 27th would give us.
27.
I'm thinking a little farther. I mean, if we haven't heard anything yet, then literally Main Street just got theirs to us today, I believe.
Do we know, is there one in the pipeline? Did somebody say they're coming?
We haven't heard anything else. So our next meeting is the 19th. So maybe we make it the 11th, which is the middle, second week in December.
Well, we gotta get them under contract.
Meeting's the second
So-
week.
Second week in December.
Meeting's the second week in December.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So if we're gonna receive the proposals, review the proposals, get them under contract, I think we gotta leave at least a little bit of buffer. I think the burden is on us.
Yeah.
So I think we need to do it, you know. I think if I understand it correct, we've got a proposal that I suspect would meet the requirements
It's only a partial,
of partial.
I'm here. Can't be nobody.
just the one.
Just one.
Yeah.
That's why I
So-
was thinking another 2 weeks, but it's your guys' call. I think we can react quicker if something does come in, but it's
Yeah.
your call.
For the rest of the commission, but it's from my perspective, in fairness to the applicant that's got the
Sure.
proposal in. That you don't go out with another round. They met the deadline, like extended deadline. You know, in the interest of getting a more complete and comprehensive and comparison. I tend not to go. More than one is better,
Agreed.
but I don't want to make it unfair to the applicant that's met the deadline.
That made the effort.
Are we blind to it because we don't know if there's anyone working on it? I mean, like, we didn't send it out to a bunch of suppliers and say, bid on this.
We did. We actually, we targeted a couple of people and only heard back.
Yeah.
Got it.
If we had back said that they have no intention of submitting a proposal, we could say,
Right.
we got what we got. If there's something in the works, then you know,
So we can send out to those folks, we can say it's been extended if you want to submit.
Okay.
yeah,
27th it was?
yeah, I wouldn't extend it more than that's my recommendation. I'm open to discussion as to whether we push or pull that, but that would be my recommendation. And if I were to make a motion, that would be it.
Sounded like a motion to me.
A second.
If you were to second.
If you were to say.
If I were to second, I would just say.
Okay. Lisa?
Hi.
Jonathan?
Yes.
Stan? Marion?
Yes.
Okay, 27th, right? Does we have that?
That's good.
Okay.
4 more days.
Item C, discussion on new potential ordinance for short-term rentals and life. Sorry. You guys should add a couple more things in the one drive.
Yeah, it's a very robust package. I like the examples of the ordinances from Clinton and East Hampton to compare, because I think it's something that they lean towards. Some of those examples, particularly East Hampton's referral to authority for any issues that come up as considerations of life. You know, the building goes to buildings. It's fire marshal's issue, it needs to be, they need to document. It's health, it needs to be the health department, and that way the ease of enforcement on our, I mean, we don't have a lot of enforcement capacity.
Right.
So I did like that a lot.
All right. Anybody else?
I'll add, and during the other two examples were in there, they turn around into the same thing we discussed before, that they were highly ambiguous and subject to, you know, would proceed as an issue with the trade or an issue with the yard. There's two wide.
And just want to clarify too, this was just, I mean, this is a request from the Board of Selectmen to look and see if we think this is even something that we should have. You know, and last time we were here, we talked about the fact that you need, somebody for appeals for this, which is another hire that we need. So maybe we do dig down into the East Hampton one. Maybe there are a couple things in there. If that's all right with you guys, but maybe, I mean, the end result could also be like, you know, planning and zoning doesn't see that this fits well. We have 4 blighted properties and that's it. So,
It's subjective. That's what I'm saying.
I was looking at the East Windsor one.
Mhm.
I don't know why I don't have the other two, but I was looking at the East Windsor one and you know, I had this markups because it's just, you're right, it's just.
Yeah, that one was too,
And there's just, it's ticking on every little thing.
yeah.
that's why I think, I think you're right, Daniel. The East Hampton one is pretty condensed.
East Hampton.
Well, you can't say, so, well, what would not be subjective? Well, if the building's falling down and we get, and they get. It isn't a matter of like, well, it kind of looks like it's dilapidated or,
Yeah.
you know,
Right, it's a fire hazard, it's still updated.
it's a fire hazard, it's a fire hazard, right?
Yeah.
Me taking care of.
But we
Right.
can, but if we were to regulate it, that's what I'm saying, that would be the least regulation.
Yeah.
Or we can do the job everybody's supposed to do.
Let me just say that paint's the only thing on the door, if the paint's filling, so it's all subjective. Like,
Yeah.
I guess that's, yeah.
Yeah, I think it falls out of the purview of zoning. That's why it's not in our regulations right now, because it has nothing to do with use or permitted use or patterns of use or you know, appropriate standards to accommodate a use. It's made for health, safety, building code issue. We should probably have something that addresses it within our
That's my,
ordinance, but it's not something that be in the zoning regulations.
that's my recommendation. It's-
And Clinton is very simple. The current one is very simple.
Yeah, they did tone that one down. They are looking for it to be an ordinance. I think their request was just for us to review, see what planning and zoning thought were, but not to put it in our regulations.
I was surprised with East Hampton because of the location to the river. They also had your boats have to be registered, otherwise they're considered. Yeah, you know, whether in the list of the vehicles, I'm not gonna read through the whole thing here, but a registered boats, so I know a lot of people, but they don't vote in this year, they don't get the registration, next year they will, or, you know. I mean, when it starts to be that point, I just don't think that we have capacity to send Zoe around with a measuring stick to measure everybody's lawn, so it's the right height. See the tags up to, oh, you do it this year, yeah, you know, it's kind of.
And they're all like 7 days. If it's taller than 10 inches for 7 days, well, by the time you send out a letter, somebody can go mow their lawn. I mean, that's just, you're chasing silly little things that aren't really blight,
And
rust.
I-
You can't chase
It's
rust.
also a matter of opinion.
And the consensus from the joint meeting was that if we do put in a fine schedule, it would be remedy fines, like, hey, you know, fix this, or we're, you know, so again, we're chasing, like, mow your lawn, or it's whatever, X, and it's like, all right, they know, it's like, no, we've actually, you know, we gotta pay somebody to break that. You know, it ends up being a cost to us.
Okay, understood. So what's the recommendation then?
Well, I haven't seen the East Hampton one, but it's something that you guys do.
I like the main, one, right, you can see it down in the middle of the page, but it's actually one, it basically refers to the property departments of building, fire, health.
Yeah.
And I think, as Alan said, I think it's important that we do have an ordinance that says, yeah, that these issues, if somebody has a complaint or needs to check on something, these are the people that should handle it. It formalizes it.
This is perfect.
That one's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No, this one's perfect. The only thing, health, where's health?
Well, I don't like the vehicles. so you can
Health
do
is
that.
health, so yeah. This is-
I would make the recommendation that the selectmen, you know, discuss this with emergency services, fire department, and the building official.
Helps.
To see where a ordinance on blight would impact, their requirements. That would be my recommendation.
The other thing I was gonna add to this is if we think that this one's all right and Clinton's all right, maybe we reach out to their enforcement officer also. And say, well, how is it being implemented in your town? Is it, you know, is it a huge hassle and you're chasing paint? You know, is that the outcome? So,
Well, you don't want to contact plan. Because Clinton.
That's why I pointed at East Hampton.
This one's perfect,
Yeah.
right? This really deals with true blight. Clinton is in the middle of,
Yeah, I get one all the
Revising.
time.
Yeah, because they have like the trees.
Yeah.
We're not gonna police trees. Or at least not in that way.
We just, I mean, we just did.
We don't have a tree. warden.
We do have a tree board. Anyway, so do we want to reach out? Do we want to do both? Do we want to, you know, ask East Hampton, how is this working for you? And push back on the selectmen to reach out to health, fire EMS.
I think East Hampton for sure, because that's the one that I like the most, and I want to know if it's actually enforceable. Is it working or just look good on paper?
So we're gonna see how they're handling this. And then also the selectmen.
They might say, yeah, that was bad.
Right. And then see what we can get input from the selectmen for their version of this.
and I can tell you that Clinton works. And it works because the building official does get involved when buildings are not secured.
Hmm.
So he steps in with that and, you know, health steps in when they can, standing water, mosquitoes and all that kind of stuff, trash, actual trash bags, full of garbage. So that's why it works, is because the other departments step up and do what they want to.
Right, but to that point, that's why it is good to have it in an ordinance raising because those, they're chartered for help is to provide that service, but this creates conduit to where reporting goes directly to them. So it's like, hey, there you go, there's the address, the standing water, check it out.
Yeah.
You know,
To your point, is having the authority to use it about it. So
Yeah.
that's where the ordinance is required to establish the authority.
Okay, so we got,
well, that's like,
go ahead.
I was gonna ask about the fine schedule, because we did talk about remedial fines. Do we need to give them a suggestion with that along with this, or would that be something we visit later?
I think we're saying it's not us, but
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, well, that's, I just wanted officially in the meeting, so that's not for us to worry.
Right, so the vote is, my understanding was that we were just gonna tell the selectmen they need to look to fire, health, police, and see how East Hampton is handling this and if it's working. But,
Definitely reach out to them.
yeah, but we can't vote because these are both of them the same thing. We also have short-term rentals wrapped in this. You guys have a chance to look at this.
Sure.
Last time around, we looked at Essex. Essex, we thought this was, if had too much. Zoe gave us two other options. I don't know if you guys looked at that.
I didn't revisit it. I thought we'd actually put that to bed for the next meeting.
I thought we did too, but we want to make sure we're good. It was an ask by the selectmen. Got to give it our effort. So,
Well, what was put to us from Essex, and we discussed it already, and we understand where they're coming from. There wasn't any real disagreement.
Okay.
And the only, what it does change, it means that people have to apply for a license. We agreed on that. That way we can monitor and know what's going on in our community. And we understand why Essex was doing that because of the, the crime situation that happened last year. We certainly don't want that in our town.
right, so
to me, it's big. I mean, I'm not inclined just to follow what others are doing. Because that's not.
you don't say.
If the sky's blue, what else?
No, because the reality is you need to study it because it could be very good for us to write permissive regulation with regard to short-term rentals. Because we're in a region which is conducive to that. If it's not permitted in other areas, somebody has an opportunity to do it right. So it has implications on economic development. We're not the town that has the most important, landmarks, perhaps. But we could be benefit significantly from providing, short-term housing being bed and breakfast or longer-term vacation rentals. So I think we would look at that opportunity and shape our regulations in regard to what's appropriate to.
You're saying it's scratched? Is that what you're saying?
That's what-
You're saying you're against with the hat of the spirit. You just want to tailor it.
Exactly. I mean, I would say let's look at that use and see where, where and how that use is appropriate and beneficial. Because I haven't seen anything that's come to us that says this is a problem in Deep River. There's nobody coming to us saying that, we shouldn't have it because we have, we've got the problems that the other towns have. So instead of being reactionary to somebody else's problem, let's look at it from the standpoint of what opportunities. we have.
Well, with that said, to revisit they have like a single. Was it a unit or a house? You can only own one rental, essentially, was in the Essex, was it?
Essex, you can only own one
Yeah.
short-term rental.
One short term.
And what does that mean? Does that mean one
Well, they don't-
building
they don't
with
want
multi-units, or does that mean just one
That
single?
Means they
thing?
don't.
They don't want to incorporate like Brexit.
If somebody does it right, why couldn't Tony have two of them? If he does them very well.
And so I think that's why we would need it right to say, based on application. Because we don't necessarily want to just open the doors for Redfin to come in and just start buying up houses. Because there are big communities where, the community ends up suffering with that. Nobody here vested, like if Tony had two properties, they'd be county awesome properties, you never have to sit over the blade.
Well, bring me into this.
But, but if, we get somebody, maybe Redfin, this is a better one, but there are many of these new businesses that are kind of get quick, and they're popping up on the market all the time.
Yeah, but what we're doing is we're fighting a problem that we don't necessarily have. And writing a regulation that might preempt a good scenario because it's been brought up before that tourism is a significant opportunity for Deep River.
Yep.
In a regional scenario.
I read that in the
And-
paper today.
Let me talk. I'm not being. If you have somebody that does a good job with vacation rentals or Airbnb, I would want them to have 2 or 3. If it's a good use for the town. The regulation on those would be monitored by the appropriateness of that facility. Yeah, to me, I don't see the need to over-regulate that use.
Yeah, but I mean, the contrary to that is it better to preemptively look at the scenarios where it's been documented, it's not being good, and instead of getting in that place where all of a sudden we're saying, well, you've already got 5 of these, you don't like how they are, we want to give you 1 more, and you're like, oh, but you don't have a limit, you have to accept my application. About having some kind of limitation.
Well, I think that's right. That's part of the problem right there is we don't have an application for this and there's no way to track it. And if you do own more, even if you own one, it's a business at that point. Right? Because it's consistent turnover. It's not like a long-term rental. It's consistent turnover. It's a higher
You're
fee.
right, it's an LLC of that type or whatever, right?
Right, so my thought is, a lot of this is just, like you said, why limit it and any of that stuff, but I think the registration part might be. Something that we should look into or suggest that the selectmen have on as an ordinance. But again, I think you're right, we should also look at our regulations to how we can have these.
And at a minimum, I would think registration and safety.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for the health review, yes.
Yeah.
Well, registration you want anyway, because there's income from that property and it's taxable. It needs to be on the tax rolls.
Yeah, it's a business.
Yeah.
But, and I wasn't joking, it was in the paper today, after the article for our coming POCD meeting. It addresses that because of the shortage of population in this area, even though the overall region is growing. It's quoted, Bill Williams quoted, that we need to lean into this type of possible beds and breakfast and that, or think of that overall economic development.
Yep.
Should read the paper.
But you only want to have 1 per person.
Well, no, that's what, I mean, that's why I brought it up. I thought that
everybody's
was-
going
I didn't know
sorted.
I was quoted. I didn't know that little article came out. I'll have to look it up now.
Yeah. But that's why I brought that up, is because that was the one thing out of it that I thought was. Considering that.
But I think that if we have some sort of, again, scale things down a little bit more. We have something that deals with the safety, health. They have to come in for a permit, but, you know, scale this down a little bit. Building official goes in, make sure that there's smoke detectors and that kind of stuff for safety.
Right.
Health is okay with the amount of bedrooms, you know, I think that
Yeah.
that's okay, but don't want to, like Alan said, don't
Yeah.
over
Okay,
regulate too,
Agreed.
you know?
You know, for
Have
instance,
something in place, but this is, and this says nobody sleeping outside. What if you want to sleep in a hammock outside? What, you know? And who's gonna patrol that? Oh my God,
You're
you're
hired.
sleeping outside.
for instance, Essex says no events, no weddings, no graduations. Why not? I mean, you don't want 100 people in a facility that should only have 10, but why not be able to have a graduation party for somebody or some kind of small event? You just want to make sure it's safe.
Yeah. Well, the difference being if it's a business or events, that
That's different.
that's a zoning issue. That's a use issue.
But
If it's a one-off party or, you know, something like that.
It's an Airbnb, and they're coming to this town. to-
well, my
They're having a
my neighboring
bachelor
house,
party or a bachelorette party.
They're all
with
meeting in
friends,
education.
right,
the
right. It's not a
neighboring
place
house,
for
that-
events.
next to me is a short-term rental home. And the thing, you know, when the graduation comes, parents come to stay and, you know, they're on the lake, they've had a few weddings there. So it's nice and, you know, that just like anything else, sometimes you're regulated by the business that's running it. But that's, I wouldn't say that's an event. I mean, I've never had like, you
No.
know, bands or anything like that, but plenty of people get married and enter the dock. That's
Okay. All right, so it sounds like the commission is saying that we don't have any input on the blight ordinance. We do recommend talking to the town of East Hampton, see how they're handling it, how it's working, and the selectmen should reach out to the fire, health, police, EMS for blight and see, you know, why that isn't working.
Why would that be an issue with the emergency service?
For EMS? I did, sorry, I wrote, when I went, emergency service, I meant as an overall, police, health, yeah.
If you have a property that prevents them from being able to respond to an event.
Oh,
Then.
Oh,
It's like, it's just like the fire department has requirements for, you know, safety buildings, and if you let things slide, then they can enforce it.
that's fire. Yeah.
And then we're gonna continue to look at the short-term rentals and come up with something much more condensed.
so do we,
That's a motion.
what do we want to do for that? Do we need to motion to form a committee or we just need to?
We'll just put it up. So if you guys come read through this, cross out everything, make comments, and we'll take it up again at the next meeting. It sounds like it could be very simple, 3 things, and then we need to look at our regulations.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, if we take this and just, hey, there's 3 things in here that should be the ordinance.
Yeah, that would be one, but it's okay.
No, that's fine. I think just knowing where they are, registering here for safety, number one, I mean, if that's all it
I'm down
is.
with that, and that's, yeah, because it's a use.
You know, if we see neighborhoods starting to turn into, you know, all short-term rentals, then we address that and, you know, make it quick to jump, quick as the zoning. But I think jumping that right now is just a whole lot of work that we don't need to do.
All right, so again, back to the motion, so we can vote. So we're gonna tell the selectmen, they should look into, how East Hampton has handled their blight ordinance. Talk to, fire, health, police, and see how they can better have blight handled. And we're going to continue to look at the short-term rentals at the next meeting. Anyone wanna,
I'll make the motion that Tony said.
thank you,
I'll second it.
thank you. Jonathan,
Yes, sir.
Alan,
Yes.
Marion,
Yes.
Daniel.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys. Okay. We're on to 6, new business. Well, we're gonna need to change this around a little bit. Item A, site plan application is off. There was actually, an existing special exception on the land records, so we don't actually need that. So we're gonna need a motion to modify the agenda. I gotta add one more thing to it. We have a new applicant that came in, just tonight. And then, so your guys' call on how we handle this. I'm just gonna add it as new business. You can accept it and continue it. You can accept it. It might be quick enough for you to just act on it. Anyway, so the motion is to replace item A with what's your address?
1,000 Industrial Park Road.
1,000 Industrial Park Road for, what's your application?
It is for the Office for Professional Service.
Office and Professional, thank you.
That's currently,
Hold on.
What's it called?
Yeah, let's get the motion done first here. So the motion is to replace item A site plan application for 124 Main Street with 1,000 industrial for office and professional services.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Daniel.
Second.
Thank you, Lisa. Jonathan?
okay,
Alan?
Clarification, is this a site plan review? What kind of?
Sorry, special permit. But that's perfect. Yep,
That's the application. Looking at it.
Can't do that.
you could accept it tonight.
Wait, Tony, this is a special permit, not a site plan?
I don't have the application in front of you. Give me 1 second.
Sure. So it helps me fill it out.
Sorry, I was doing this from the cuff.
I believe it was a site, when we met,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm used to the old zoning regulation. This SP was a special permit. SPX was a site plan.
I believe
Um,
it's just a site plan. I would have to look again.
It's just a site.
Can you check right now since
We
we're,
did meet
we're jockeying
this
this?
week just to confirm everything with the final application, but could you just give me the address again?
1,000 Industrial Park Road.
Yeah, read the regulation.
that's currently,
How to do something.
No, that's not. No. I'm
So
saying,
we can't have a
voice
Okay, so. That is. Commercial, industrial. You guys are just watching me do this in real time. Give me one
That's all right, I'm looking up something too.
I recall it being a site plan application, but I'll confirm it before we move forward, so just CIP. Even with word search, it takes a moment to find the right place. Here we go. Okay, so CIPD. Um. So I believe this is just office for a business, because it's just where they. Yeah, so that's, yeah, site plan.
Okay, so
So
it's a
it
straight.
it
site.
doesn't require a public hearing, and it can
Yeah.
be just reviewed, it can be accepted and reviewed tonight.
I thought so. Okay, just making sure. Second, what's legally required. Okay, back to the modification. So we're going to modify item A for a site plan application for 124 Main Street to be removed and replaced with a site plan application for 1,000 Industrial Park for office and professional services. Dan, you were the one who made the original motion. Lisa, you seconded. Jonathan said yes. Alan,
I know, I'm still reading that. So we're voting to accept the site plan application.
site plan
For
application.
action at the next meeting. Okay.
Actually, we're making a motion to put it on the agenda right now.
Right.
Added to the agenda. We're gonna
On the agenda, yeah, no, right,
Look at their.
right. I guess where I was going, if we weren't in a position to be able to accept it, I wasn't gonna put it on the agenda. So yes.
Thanks. Marion,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
that's it. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, item A, site plan application, 1,000 Industrial Park Road, office professional services. If you hand me your application and all that stuff, yes, I will make copies before you leave.
Yep, so application and there's our site plan.
Yep.
And then I even have my Original, I don't know if you need the original drawing too.
I just gonna all make copies of it, and then you always said make sure I get a check from you guys.
Yes. Get that too. I can pull that out now. You need to.
Okay,
Then we see what's going on.
Oh.
yeah, well, we accepted it, we still have to take a check. Because we can say.
Yeah, we
Okay.
don't
We
wanna,
didn't get off that easy.
Take the money.
Yeah, I'm like, where do we get the money?
definitely need the fee if we're gonna process anything.
Okay,
So who do I make it out to? Just.
down to deeper. And then I haven't made copies yet, so I'm just gonna hand this around. Please don't lose the copies, and then you guys make a decision on whether or not we're acting on this tonight, need more information, et cetera, et cetera. Then I'll make copies.
Can you just give us an overview?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically what it is, we started a towing company. We have a wrecker and a flatbed. That we just leave at the property if it's not at our house. We just needed the office space. Just to conduct our business out of. The thing is with the we needed to get our record plate, the orange plates that go on the tow trucks, in order to get into other towing compounds. To remove the cars to take to like Copart or IA, like crash cars and stuff. In order for us to get this repair plate, then we needed this application filled out saying that we're cited as a repair facility, even though we're not doing any repair work or nothing out of this building. In order to get the record plates, that's the stipulation.
Yeah, our primary business is, so like one place is in South Windsor, so if you guys total your car, we pick it up from there, then we take it there, or if it's at your house, so on and so forth. So really,
There's no storage at the building, there's no repair work being done, there's like,
just our trucks
it's just
inside.
our vehicles.
That's what I'm precisely.
So this is,
It's just the way this need to be run, so in order to get this special plate, you need to be classified as having this type style of a shop in order to get the repair, to get the record plates.
And you've been to my building, you see what I do, you see.
yeah, so this is basically an office space.
Correct.
It's an office use. They just need this for permanent, for the permit.
And the building, this is a silly question, but the building exists now.
Yes,
Yes, yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
he's the owner,
I'm down to that parallel.
I bought it off of Charles.
Sorry.
I bought it off of Charles, actually, this was January 1st.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know where you guys stand about after.
yeah,
You guys want to make sure we got it.
try not to end the meeting for everybody again.
That's the first building within that industrial park.
Sorry, what was the fee? I'm sorry.
260.
I don't want to. 60. Okay, I don't want to end the meeting again. Ready? Should I get that to Zoe? I never have great pictures of the buildings. I gotta talk to whoever does this. Yeah, it's at the end of the industrial park road on the right hand side.
How many offices are in the building, or is this the only one?
There's this, so I started renting out to them. Get out the door. Out of this, shop space, and there's you've been like what, 20 by 40 office space on both sides. And it's where I store my trucks.
Just-
overnight.
Just say he's the tree service, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
Discussion, suggestions, recommendations. How do you guys want to proceed?
We'll accept the application, because you still have to wait till,
A site plan application, you can act immediately.
you can?
Yeah.
Yep, but it's, yeah. But it's your guys' call. I mean, this was at a meeting, so.
Fine.
Yep.
Thank you for the presentation, because it's very straighthtforward, I understand.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's like, it is pretty straightforward.
I mean, yeah, they're just renting an office space, but because it's unconventional.
We're not talking about changing the space, we're not talking changing use, we're not talking about anything additionally gonna happen there.
It's just to get these plates, so we can get into other. To get into, we need them too. So-
And it's in that conductor.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, it's,
And
I'm good with it.
just to throw this out there, I'm on the opposite side of the largest dump area. And like I said, it's back to my property, what I've done to it, and you as well. Like I've transformed it to. I eventually I want it to look like a park.
yeah,
That's my
we
goal.
like that. Yeah.
So. Storage of vehicles is permitted in the industrial park. Right? But the application says strictly office space. So should the application say that it is for office and storage of vehicles?
It says
'Cause
it.
that's a use, right?
It says.
It does, it's on the second,
Statement.
including jet skis.
Right, but.
Yeah, I don't want jet ski.
I didn't see that. I'm
It's
sure you have
for,
official use for that to tow something around.
100%.
So in the application, proposed use is office for professional use, right?
Then the second page, there's the, just reading.
Right, but
He's saying.
is it office use or is it actually a office and vehicle use? Because the operation of business is storing vehicles. If it's a permitted use, I would state it so that it's on record that you can store your vehicles there, so.
But he's limited to the records only, right? You can't.
Yeah, it's just-
He can't.
We're not storing any other customer, nothing like
Yeah.
that. We're just storing our trucks overnight.
I think Alan's right. If you were.
Well, in our-
Right, Alan's right. If you would write that you're storing.
Yeah, I mean, I can. help with-
Yeah, I think it's just right to have the correct use.
Yeah, I can-
Permitted use. Because it's office, we say, okay, it's office.
Yeah.
But then somebody goes down and says, well, you're moving trucks in it.
So is that
I keep my boat. What do you want?
Yeah, no, but, and that's why I say it's permitted use. That's what it should say.
Storage of vehicles.
That's what we're doing.
Storage of,
That's where it's approved.
Our vehicles.
Because if we approve something that says we're approving an office use, because somebody says wasn't approved for.
Right, I would like copies.
I want you to have the right permission.
Yeah, 100%. No, thank you. This is our first time meeting. We just,
Yeah.
we're doing the town, so whatever you guys.
Okay, so it does say storage of their vehicles. That was specific.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Now, I do have one question. So these plates that you need to get, you say repair facility.
That's just the licensing that we need from the DMV.
Oh, that's DMV town.
Yeah,
that's
I just want to make sure that's.
Right.
So what it is they'll give us like a repair license number. In their system,
Right.
and then what they allow us to get these record plates.
To carry the repaired vehicles from place to place.
Yeah.
For their insurance purposes, we couldn't even enter the lot without that license plate.
Right.
Essentially.
Cause right now we run commercial plates on the trucks and we can, like, we run for Geico also.
Oh, yeah.
So like the flat tires, jump
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But in order for us to go into other tow properties, it's a requirement by the state that you have to have these orange plates.
That's. But you're confident then that having this as professional services office will suffice for that application for that plate?
They said that to us at the dealer. They said as long as you guys.
So they know it's.
We already done that, so this was like our last.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, it was, that's what they said, because when I saw, I did the handwritten drawing, and when I went to DMV, they were like, that's not acceptable. So that's.
I've done that.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Name.
You gotta state your names.
Oh, Malcolm, yes.
My
Last name, Malcolm Watson.
yeah, and Chad Reed.
Chad Reed.
Two E's. Too easy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Guys, wanna make a motion?
We're accepted.
We already accepted it.
Yeah, we've already done
You
that.
already done that? Now you're gonna approve it?
To approve.
Or can- What's that?
You added it to the agenda to accept it.
You're right, you did have.
Yeah,
it.
That's what I'm saying. I think we need to accept it.
All right. Look at you and the trickery. All right, so,
Been that kind of day.
all right. Thank you. Looking for a motion to accept it?
Motion to accept.
Thank you, Daniel. Second.
So
Thank you, Lisa. Jonathan,
Yes.
Alan,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
Mary.
yes,
All right. Anybody
Motion
want
to
to make,
approve.
thank you, Daniel,
So,
Stan, Lisa,
Aye.
Jonathan,
what's that?
motion to approve.
Oh, yes.
Alan,
Yes.
Marion,
no,
thank you. Okay, thank you, guys. You're all set. I'll get, Zoe to email or email it back a copy.
Yeah, or one, whatever, it's easiest for you to come back, whatever.
Okay,
Okay, thank you guys so much, appreciate it.
have a good night.
Thank you, guys. See you.
Okay, on to informal discussion about 161 Main or River Street.
That is
Uh,
being postponed because they
Okay.
emailed wanting to come in December instead. So
Okay. All right, on to discussion existing ordinance municipal property exempt from planning and zoning regulations. Alan and I talked about this the last time round. Of course, I didn't print that one out.
You are the stands of town.
Let's see. Oh, shit, the link doesn't. Zoe, any chance you could throw that up real quick? I don't have it and my link doesn't work.
yeah, I'll just open it up.
Thank you.
Okay, I have it open and now I will share. It's the highlighted one.
So our existing, our existing ordinance has the municipal properties exempt from planning and zoning. Just tonight, we had somebody.
Clear.
What are we missing here, guys? What's that?
Dropped on the floor, we'll keep looking after it.
No one can hear anything. There's so much chair movement, that's all. I'll wait till you guys are in. Okay. Anyway, so the town is exempt from planning and zoning. We had somebody here tonight who we just recommended they go to ZBA to address their concerns because they don't think they align or they didn't align with what planning and zoning is laid out. I think this here, at the town being exempt from zoning sets a really bad example. It says, hey, we can put regulations on your property, but we're exempt and we can do whatever we want. And they have that, why shouldn't they have the same approach to go to, I mean, they can go to ZBA just like anybody else. And ZBA, again, will probably look more favorably on them than us just saying, hey, they're exempt from anything we say. There's no real planning to that. And anything we do plan is kind of out the window because they can sidestep that. So that's just my thought on that.
We don't have any authority.
What's that?
We don't have authority to remove that ordinance.
So the town has asked for recommendations on all the ordinances that relate to planning and zoning. This being one of them, our recommendation can be that this be removed, and their approach would be to go to ZBA. Hopefully they could be put on, so it would have to go to a town vote. And we'll see if they put it on for the town vote. That's just my recommendation. You guys could have a totally different opinion. So anyway, discussion is up to you guys.
Not like me to have a different opinion, so I agree with you, Tony.
Whoa, whoa. Anybody else?
I agree with Alan and Tony.
Yeah,
I did too. You can't force people without respecting your own laws.
Yeah, that's, for me, that's a big one.
yeah, I'm important.
So,
Makes you wonder what happened in 1984.
yeah, well,
I wonder if it was just because they were doing the ordinance. Or plus, it almost seems like it's, it's right in front of that.
if I remember the training correctly, I think 84 was the cutoff where you could exempt, where towns could exempt themselves from zoning. And it was just the easy,
Send them one.
yeah, I think it was just the easy.
Yeah, in order to catch that.
So anyway, that's the recommendation then, that we say this should go to a town vote and then be
It's true,
removed.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, I guess we're just unanimous on that?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, guys. On to reports. ZEO.
So,
Hi. I'm trying to think if I have any important updates. I think the biggest one is that this is actually a little bit POCD related, but a PDF of the presentation we'll be using on December 4th, as well as a PDF of the executive summary are now on the planning and zoning page. I think they're also either on the homepage under quick links or will be added. I haven't checked to see if that was done yet. But basically they're now publicly available. So if anybody asks about them, they are able to check it out online prior to the meeting. And I did create in our share drive a folder that you all might have seen that just says Plan of Conservation and Development Public Document or Public Materials. So we can add more to that as we go. So, you know, if we give the presentation on that Wednesday in December and people have questions about certain things, or maybe they want to know about the results of the surveys or to see the other plans that we looked at, you know, we could add more information to that folder. So the link on the Planning and Zoning Commission page goes to that folder. I had Tony test it for me today and it worked. So let's hope it stays that way. But yeah, that way, you know, if any questions arise and we have resources we can add, it's right there for people to be able to check out further resources. So that was the big update. Besides that, yeah, lots of different permits coming in, a few businesses like tonight, lots of barns and sheds before it gets too cold out and wintry out to build. Yeah, that's about it for me.
I think you covered POCD too, but throw it out to Marion, if you want to add anything. I mean,
No,
don't forget December.
I did, copy it in black and white, because I didn't have all the making, but, no, it looks good.
All right. Attorney? Anything? That's good. And we got,
Any movement on, West Bridge Street?
you know what, there was a affidavit that came forward because somebody's buying it.
Yeah.
Oh, you said it was just listed, so somebody acted on it quickly then.
Yep.
92.
Yeah, West Bridge Street,
Yeah, that was wonderful.
so we'll see about that. I think they even signed that they were gonna clean the property up in that affidavit, if I remember correctly.
I'd have to
I'd have to go back and
look
look, but
again.
someone is,
The last notice of violation that was sent was put on the land record, so when that information is pulled, it will be part of what they see when they're pulling the title and the deeds and all that, so they will also see that. But yeah, so we are keeping an eye on that. That is another thing.
good call. Right, nothing for the attorney. Chairman, I'm gonna buzz through a couple things. Elections are next month, don't forget. You want Ellen to be the new chairman. We have to review our bylaws. You're supposed to do that yearly, so if you guys just take a look at it, see if there's something in there that we haven't thought of. I need a date for our regulations. We kept adding and adding and adding all these revisions to our regulations, and we never picked an effective date. So if we say the 22nd of November, would that be all right with everybody?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so we made all the revisions and we never put that, we all went to the regulations, but we never picked the actual effective date. So,
I think they could be the 15 days after the publication.
Yeah.
right, but
Did they?
so we added one, and they were over a long period of time, so the date on the front page should be 15 days after the last revision.
All done at the same time.
They weren't. So let's go back to accessory dwelling units. I'm just gonna make up 2 dates. They were done in April. And then we just did the sign stuff for downtown last month. So there's a big chunk there. So if we just pick an effective date, I mean, you can pick one date. Yeah, you can backdate it.
So have we issued any permits relative to these regulations? So
So it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I just say make them effective as of
Today?
today.
Okay. Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
Thank you. 11:21.
Now we'll get the
Thank
new version up on the
Right,
website.
on the website. Okay, that's all I have. Budget, we're not onto that yet. Daniel, housing update?
For the regional housing, at the last meeting, they went over the formula, and as was discussed in P O C D. There's a flaw because they were trying to put the whole, every represented town in the region, they wanted to bring it up to 2% growth. And right now, 1%, of course, our projections show that we'll be closer to negative than to 20%. So that created an issue, and Essex and Chester were, very tuned into this discussion, and we kind of left that at, well, we'll say 0, because they didn't want to say negative.
Yeah.
Right, and so that was where we left there. So we will actually won't be having a meeting this month, but we have a workshop, and I believe the 6th of December. As far as regional planning, though, they are going to be bringing that formula to regional planning. So I'm curious to see if they've made any changes to how the growth will be reflected across the region. In other words, the shoreline,
Yeah.
or if they're just going to apply the whole percentage on bulk, and that's a fraudulent number. I agree, but I'll see Monday night if that's brought to the planning meeting.
Okay.
To see, and again, Zoe, you recorded in the paper that is an issue that we're addressing, is the region is growing, we are not, and they're very well, so I suggest you.
All right,
That's all I have.
questions for Daniel? If not, payment of bills, I do have one question about that, Zoe, next time you're in the office. We haven't seen a single bill, and supposedly our attorney is working on 400 Commercial Drive.
Yes, I have. Invoices that I can add for you.
So
to
they-
view.
Do we need them tonight, or can we do them in December, or?
I think we should just do them tonight.
Okay. But I asked.
So they're older invoices that had been passed along, but maybe the oversight on my end was not including them earlier, and that's why I still am receiving them. So I'm sharing 2. So this is what we've received for 400 Commercial Drive work. The totals are 1387.50 and 1276.50.
Okay, I just trying to be a little cautious about this because I know it has come up often. That you should, the zoning is supposed to make sure that we're not being billed fraudulently, to make sure this all looks well and good.
I'll add these to the drive for everyone to view.
That would be a legal rate, 185.
Hearing. These do go way back, huh? Being reasonable to me. You did get 2.
Very far.
Okay, so we need a motion to pay those bills. They may have already been paid, but let's be thorough about this, because we're supposed to do that.
Yeah,
Um,
motion to approve payment of the bills for legal fees.
Thank you. Stan, I'm assuming you second, because you almost beat him. Lisa?
Aye.
Jonathan?
Yes.
Marion?
I,
Daniel?
Aye.
Thank you. With that, we need a motion to adjourn.
Yes.
All right. Second, thank you. All in favor?
I.
Aye. Thank you, everybody, again. See you December 4th, 6th, what day is it? 4th. See you December 4th.
November 4th,
Actually, I'll see you Monday.
send out a reminder of that.
Yeah, I'll see you Monday. I'm gonna grab the stuff you left on the table and take it with me, so it's not here overnight.
Is that was for Mayor Wold?
Yeah, so I'll take that. That way it's not just sitting here and then I'll give it to you Monday when we all meet. All
Okay.
right, awesome, guys. Thank you.
Well, next,
Okay, now I can't end it.